Go ahead, take us in, Grant.
I'm not recording yet.
We are.
Yeah.
Are we?
Is my right. Welcome to Bones, Twigs and Wigs.
Damn, baby.
The podcast about music.
Sometimes.
Welcome back, everyone. All of our listeners and viewers, cool cats and felines, you know. My name is Johnny Jones, and you're listening to the Bones, Twigs, and Wigs podcast. I got my brothers with me. My man, Steven. Go ahead and say what's up, Steve.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Hope you
I
well.
got my man, G Rant. Go ahead and say
What
what's
it
up,
do?
G. What it do? Oh, you trying to be like me now. What it do?
Well,
What
you
it
just
do,
sound so
baby?
much. You sound so much cooler than I do.
I can't help it, brother. It's in the blood, you know what I'm saying?
It's what it do.
It's what it do, you know? It's always doing it do, you feel me?
That's terrifying.
So-
That's gonna be in my dreams.
Anyway, today we're going to talk about, and this is like very last minute, but you know, we're still going to get the people something. We're going to talk about a particular topic, and the topic is, does your passion as a job take the soul out of it? As hopefully you guys get what we're saying, you know, but you know, if you're doing something that you're passionate about, does it take the soul out of that job, you know? And we're a music-based podcast sometimes. But you know, this could kind of go for anybody. Like, you can be passionate about, you know, being a hairdresser or a tattoo artist or whatever. But when does it come that time where it's like, all right, this is my passion, but now I feel like I'm just doing it for the money.
Yeah,
I'm
it starts
just
to
doing it
feel
for
like
the
a job,
fame.
yeah.
Right. It doesn't feel like like when does it feel like, you know, man, I'm just trying to get this check, or I'm just trying to get, you know, a following, and I want to get the likes and the fame, or, you know, it can be whatever you're into. So, you know, I'm not going to start it off. Let's start off with Steve, man, you know.
Yeah, but I
ahead.
think from my point of view, like all of us sat here, like playing music was something. I mean, I didn't plan out to play music. I was just needed something to put music to lyrics. Basically, I was writing poetry and stuff. So I was never really interested in music, playing music growing up at all till I was 15, 16. But once I got into it and got obsessed with the guitar and all that stuff, I then playing my own music. And then all of a sudden I realized, well, you know, I can work all day and all night and do all the stuff I'm doing, or I can get paid for music. So let's do some wedding gigs and let's do some pub gigs with my band and on my own. And then it started getting to the point of like, I've got a gig this weekend. Shit. Doing the same songs again. Okay, right, that's okay. And then doing gigs on my own acoustically, and people are requesting songs, and it's, can you play Wonderwall? Yeah, I can play Wonderwall. And I started losing the passion. Like, it just, but I don't know, it comes and goes. Like, even now it comes and goes. There'll be days and I'll love it, and there'll be hours that I love it, or just 15 minutes when it's amazing. And the same way goes to the other side. There'll be an hour where I'm like, that sucks. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to smash everything to pieces. I'm going to get a real job. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And I think you've got to just be able to step outside of that and create things to help you when you get to that point. Do you know what I mean? When you hit that brick wall. And I think that's today we can go into all that stuff about what we do. Because I know, Johnny, like you do on the ships where I met you, doing the same show.
Right.
And that must have got pretty repetitive.
Exactly. It got to the point, like, I'm gonna tell a little secret, and some people might know it, some people might not, some people might be okay with it, some people might not, but it got to the point where, like, we would play little games during the show, just straight out of boredom, because we knew the show like the back of our hands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we would play like well, let me just put it out there for the people who are listening. I'm in a show. It's like a theater show, you know. And to the audience, you know, that's seeing it for the first time, it's a first time thing. But to us as performers, we're doing the same exact show over 200 times. you know, over and over again. So we know it like the back of our hands. And that's just show business. You know, when you go see your favorite artists, most of the time their concerts are pretty much the same thing. Slight differences maybe, but the same concept, the same flow and everything. So that being said, my particular show, I play sax alongside of a percussion player, 3 singers, as well as dancers. And when you think like, oh, you're just playing sax, like I'm actually, you know, on my feet. I'm actually walking across the stage, do a little 2-step, play a little, you know, and then go off stage and, you know, do whatever. So over time, man, like just that repetition, you're just like, yo, like there would be times where like call time was like 6 o'clock. I'll be asleep till like 5:50. Hurry up, get up, throw some clothes on real quick, like some sweatpants real quick, run backstage, get ready, you know, makeup, make sure my costume is straight, go on stage, do what I got to do. Boom, I'm back in my room at like 9 p.m. and then I'm knocked out sleep. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like you do, but you can do it like that and you can still like give it your all too, you know? But it's crazy because we would get backstage and we would say, man, let's have some fun tonight. Let's play a game. We'll play like the animal game, right?
I've heard about this.
Yeah, you guys heard about this, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's 16 of us on stage at the same time. In and out at the same time. You pick an animal out of a hat. 2 people get that animal. You might have a cat, you might have an elephant, you might have a lion, you might have a dog, whatever. And whatever, you know, animal you have to go on stage. And you have to like at least like make like a certain movement like that animal, or you have to make a certain sound like that animal and hope that you find your partner, you know?
Yeah.
So like I got lucky one time, for example. As soon as I come up doing my dance step, boom, and then I look and there's a dancer right here and I had like a cat. So I'm like, meow, and she's like, meow, and I'm like, oh, perfect.
Done.
Found my partner, you know? And then like you just kind of like go about the rest of the show. But it's so funny because throughout this hour-long show or half an hour-long show, you just hear all of these random animal noises like on stage. And it's hilarious, bro, you know? So yeah, I might be snitching a little bit. I don't care, you know,
No, that's
but
good.
you know, that's ships, man. You know, that's showbiz. You gotta like keep yourself on your toes, you know, and it's like, okay, like, yeah, we know that you can do your job, but let's see how well you can do your job. Let's give you another task on top of your job that you have to do and see if you can still execute, you know?
Yeah.
So I dig it, man.
Did it make you want to play more like outside of the show? Like for me, when I finish, because I play so many songs a day,
Right.
I put the guitar in a case at the end of the night, put it in my room, go to the bar, pick it
Yeah.
up before work the next evening, go to work. I don't touch it during the day. When I'm
Yeah,
at home, I
same.
miss it, but like that kills me a little bit on there.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, you know, we got some homies like Julian, Dylan, Paulie. You know, I love these guys. These are great saxophone players that we've had the opportunity to work with. And these guys used to like stay on me and get on my case because I would never practice, bro. Never. Because I played the sax so much. Like, all right, if I actually practice, it was backstage. But that was like seldom, bro. Because like for all of my coworkers and cast members who knew me and who were backstage with me, they knew that I was always backstage playing other instruments. Like, you know, we had a grand piano backstage. So I would rather practice my piano skills than actually pick up the sax. Not saying that I don't love playing sax, but it's just like when you're playing it so much, you just like, bro, I want to play something else, bro. Like, oh, I want to like get a break. You know what I'm saying?
like
I
eating
want
the same
these
food.
lips to be like prepared for when I'm on stage. I don't want them to get tired. I want these, then they got to be ready for the ladies too.
Well, I was
you know
going
what
to say,
I'm
I
saying?
know where you're going with that, man.
You already know, you know what I'm saying? But no, like it's just one of them things where like, like man, Dylan used to always get on me, man. Like there was a time where
Of course he did.
oh man, like Dylan is just
Hey, Dylan,
like
thank you for the help, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
like Dylan is just one of those guys, man. Like I told Dylan one time, I actually like went to him for like some pointers and stuff because I was like, man, bro, like I'm gonna be honest, like I find myself as a musician being a jack of all trades and a master of none. You know what I'm saying? Because like I can play keys, I can sing, I can rap, play a little bit of guitar, play a little bit of bass, play some sax. I play all these different instruments, but I'm not like a master at all of these instruments. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not like stuck on just one instrument, you know what I'm saying? And Dylan's main thing is like, man, bro, you just got to practice. I told Dylan straight up before I came home, I was like, bro, I might just put the sax down, bro. He was like, no, bro, no, you need to practice. Like he started like cussing me out and everything. I was like, bro, all right, cool. I'll practice. I got you, But him and Julian, like I used to walk backstage. Julian will be in like the supply closet backstage, like just killing. You know what I'm saying? Then come to find out, like he's been practicing for like 6 hours straight. You know,
they got to find room and
Right.
time as well. So they've got to really plan their practice out. Those horn players.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. Like it was crazy, man. Like he would like literally like close the door, but like you can still hear him. And I'm walking backstage. I just like prop the door open. I look and it's Julian. He's like, hey, dude, how's it going? And I'm like, right. Like he's like pausing like that. He's like, dude.
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, dude? And I'm like, yo, like you back here I'm like, how long have you been here, bro? He's like, I'm like
Since Tuesday.
like 4 hours. And I'm like, bro, you practicing like 4 hours straight, bro? Like that's crazy. You know what
He
I'm
does that
saying?
so
Like,
much. He's still on the
it's,
ship right now because he didn't even know about COVID. He's just been practicing. He's not come up for air. He's still on the ship.
He hasn't,
telling you,
left the
man.
closet.
There's
Yeah,
a few
so, like-
people on our ship who need to leave the closet and get, anyway.
Man, shout out to Dylan, shout out to Julian. Like these are my favorite tenor sax players. Paulie, awesome on alto sax. Like all of these cats, man. Like I'm always like talking to these guys and just like trying to get tips and trying to get inspiration, as a saxophone player as well. But for me, man, like, that's like it was a passion, getting back to the topic. It was like definitely something that I was passionate about once upon a time. But like when you start getting paid like constantly for it, and when you have to do like the same music, the same charts over and over again, over time, bro, you just like, man, I need something fresh,
That's what I was going to say. You need something to. I mean, I don't know about you, Grant. I mean, you have a lot more musical freedom than Johnny does because Johnny's got to do the same thing again and again, pretty much in the shows. But do you find that doing? I won't mention the show, but one of the shows we do that you do quite a lot. Do you find that it drives you nuts, or can you switch off? I tend to switch off, I think, more than anything, which isn't a good thing, particularly. But
I like what Johnny was saying about games. We definitely play our little games.
Yeah, Grant had a lot of games. He would
I
see
have a
me
lot
in
of
a
games.
crowd, and in the middle of a solo, he'll play Careless Whisper, like, and nobody else would notice it. He would play Careless Whisper like on top of like a whole show tune track, and I'll look up and be like, "Come on, bro."
Yeah, be in the middle of like Jalico Cats or something.
And I'm like,
hey, Johnny.
I'm like, I hate you, bro. I hate you. Hate it.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, never mention anything like not liking a song or something to me because I will put it in the second I see you. Like I remember every time when I'm doing these little afternoon singing sets, so Steve doesn't have to do them, and I see Steve come to them. I always put on my James Blunt voice. Like I'll be singing a Sting song, and I'll just be like,
James Blunt.
just to see if he's paying attention,
Oh yeah, second to hear that voice.
Or a lot of really fun little in jokes we have. We have amongst me and the horn players and all that. We will have, say, like Careless Whisper is a really big one. Like if someone someone in
players
the band
hate
can.
that song. They really do.
Oh, not in the orchestra, mate. Not
really?
not the show band boys. We love Careless Whisper.
Well, do you remember that time when
Scotty's the best at it. He's by far the best.
But we had Julian once with me in the bar. It's me, Grant, and Julian turned up to jam on the sax. And then someone said Careless Whisper because everyone who sees a saxophone player, for some reason, it's either that or Baker Street. And
yeah, it was Baker. It was Baker Street.
It was
Julian.
Baker Street. Sorry. It was Baker Street. I'm thinking of.
Well, because
it was hysterical
I fucked up
because,
there.
but we like this big build up, and Julian's like, okay, no problem. He seemed a bit, but he was like fine with it. And then we did this big build up, and then we did a 1, 2, 1, 2. Absolute silence, and then I look over and Waddy goes, "I don't play that part." I was like, "Oh, for God's sake!" I was like, "That's the riff."
I didn't. That one's on me. I think. I think
It's
I was like,
hysterical.
I know why I thought that too. Because I remember we must have had a guest entertainer that did Baker Street, and the tenor player played the line. So I knew that the alto player played the line in like our arrangement that we have in our book, but. I think I just assumed that the tenor player would know how the line went, and Julian just went, "Yeah, I don't play the line. Like I don't."
But he was like,
"I don't know it."
when the line was supposed to be happening, it wasn't before the song. It was literally counting. Go.
So
silence.
Yeah,
God.
I had to play it, but then after I played it like twice, he
once he
got
heard it,
anyway.
he's good.
But yeah, because Julian's fantastic, but yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah.
Well, I think the passion thing, trying to keep the passion in what we do. I wrote down some little notes that I was thinking before and going on the internet and looking at what other people have said. And the first one that I came up with and I found other people talking about is something that I definitely do 100%, which is why I've got the fancy camera, which is find another hobby, something that's simple. Because generally music starts off as a hobby. It's something you love that you just want to go home from school and do or whatever. When it becomes a job, your hobby and the job becomes the same, and you don't have an outlet, a creative outlet, in a different way, I think. And I think that's why, for me, photography and videography and learning how to edit and do all that, it's given me an outlet so that when I go back to music, it feels fresh again. It's something different. Because otherwise I'd be playing music, then writing music, then recording music, then editing music. And I just ran out of steam, I think. So I think getting a hobby is so important. Have you guys got a hobby that's separate from music? I mean, I used to play a lot of football and stuff like that, but definitely, definitely photography for me.
For me, it'll probably be gaming, and like you guys, know
that
me,
as well.
like,
That as well.
Yeah,
Just,
like when I was on ships, man, like I had the PlayStation in my book bag, so I didn't get that overweight charge. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I had my controllers, had my games.
What games?
What games? Man, mainly like sports. Grand
you never
Theft
played.
Auto.
I don't think we ever played.
Yeah, always had my sport games. Always had Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty. Especially, man, Grand Theft Auto really got me through some tough times. Because, like, sometimes you just be so stressed out. You just want to blow some stuff up, and
steal
shoot
some shit.
Yeah, you want to steal some stuff and, like, shoot people in the head. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just want to act a fool.
Have you played Red Dead Redemption yet?
I haven't, man. I got to get it.
Dude,
though.
I just started.
Sick.
I just started.
Yeah.
You just started as well?
Yeah, I just literally in the last couple of days,
So good.
because like I've talked
tough,
about this
but
with
it's
you
tough.
guys a lot. I can only do one thing at a time. Like I can only watch one TV show at a time. I can only play one. So since I've been home and I got my new PlayStation in the mail to kill time, I've gotten up to like the very final kind of boss on that Final Fantasy VII remake, and I can't beat him. So I got frustrated and gave up.
Yeah.
Then I went on to like that UFC game and just
Blow
blitzed
off
through
some
that.
steam. Yeah. That's another one I like too.
Yeah, we gotta play online sometime. I think.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Call of Duty.
and
If
then,
you guys have the new Call of Duty, we need to do that online. It's
oh,
amazing.
dude, no, I can't. No, I mean, I have it, but I can't do Call of Duty.
It's
hard.
It terrifies
I'm
me.
pretty good
such
at
a
it.
coward. I was talking to Johnny about this. I was like, I can't do it because I'm just like, I don't want to get shot.
And,
I was telling him, I was like, bro, like it literally
hiding
takes
behind corners.
practice. It takes practice.
No, but it's
man.
yeah, but it's
you
not,
got to
it's not
react,
that I-
especially online. These people have been doing it.
No, but
so
and
long.
I
It's
like
insane.
that, and I like that with me though, because it's not that I can't do it. Like, it's not that I'm necessarily any bad at the game. It's
The
that
reflex.
no, it's not. It's just that I get stressed out, and I don't like being stressed out. I sit there and I go,
Oh, you
I
hear
don't want to
footsteps
die.
and stuff.
I don't want to die. No, I'm just like, if I turn this corner, I'm gonna fucking
Right,
die.
like, I'm going to
I
get
don't
shot.
want to die. I don't want to get into a shootout. I just
We
don't
need
like
to get
any
you
sort
on
of
a VR
any
headset, man.
first person shooter. Any first person shooter. Oh man, that would be hilarious if you put a VR headset on me.
VR headset, like a Call of Duty VR headset. I mean, they don't do Call of Duty, but something similar.
I'd be awful. I remember me and my friends, we'd be, I'd be over at their house or something. We'd be playing like Call of Duty. So, I have like that zombie mode.
Yeah,
where
I hate it.
the zombies keep coming.
That's like Black Ops,
I would
yeah.
I would find a spot on the map where there's only one entrance, and I'd stand at the door and I'd just stab everything like ha. So I'd never die, but I'd have by far the lowest kill count, but I'd never die, and
Just
I
stand there.
considered that a huge win. So I'm a terrible teammate.
I was gonna say
I just
maybe you should
leave
join
you
me
out to get
online.
eaten.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Aiden, Will, and Mason. Oh man, these guys. First of all, like I'm like 5 years older than these guys, so I feel like an old man when I'm like. hanging with
We've
these
been
guys.
through this.
That's
Let's
okay.
not-
You have us. It's fine.
Yeah, right. You know,
Old
like you guys
man
kind of help me
river.
even it out. I feel like babies with you guys, but
Yeah.
But man, like these kids, man, I'm not gonna call them kids. These guys are gamers, bro. And like we would always link up and play like zombies, and I hate playing zombies, bro. I hate it. Like when they're like
Zombies
the,
are stupid.
bro, like the zombie dogs
good
come
fun.
out of nowhere, and then like, and there's so much like communication involved. I'm like, bro, like, can I just like shoot like regular people? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But shout out to the three of those guys, man. Like those guys
Hell yeah.
always, keep me on my toes, and
Aiden's a
Hopefully,
fellow camera enthusiast.
Oh, dude. Speaking of Aiden, if there's a good chance that I'll get some Aiden designed vinyls in the mail whilst we're recording.
Nice.
So if that happens, I'll do an unboxing and we can.
Oh, yeah,
give
that'd be
you a
sweet.
nice little shout out.
yeah, that'd be sweet.
I've been waiting for months for these things. Like this COVID pandemic has just been awful for ordering things from America. It's just, but yeah, hobbies. I mean,
And there's something just
I
to
don't know.
take your mind off the music or anything that is your passion. If your passion is painting, in your spare time you don't paint. You gotta have something to step away from. That doesn't have to be mega different, but
I read history books.
Nerd.
I mean, I read every night in bed. I can't sleep until I read. I just can't.
I'm on a podcast full of nerds.
Mate, get used to it.
You're the
Get
one with
used
the
to it.
glasses, you fucking geek.
And I've still never actually listened to a podcast, so I'm still the odd one out in that sense.
We're all nerds.
Man, I just got this great book about Charles Manson that I'm reading.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Helter Skelter. No.
No, not that one. It's called Chaos. And it's this guy was supposed to write an article on the 30th anniversary of the Manson murders, so 20 years ago. And it took him 20 years because he just kept going down all these rabbit holes, and it's all kind of, it's one of those like conspiracy heavy sort of books, but it's a good read. But
Now wait, how
Yeah,
can you
I love
make a
biographies as well.
conspiracy out of Charles Manson murdering all of these people?
Well, he didn't actually kill anybody. He
he
didn't touch
never
anybody.
actually killed anybody.
Well, he might have done previously, apart from, but the actual reason he was
Yeah.
in prison, he wasn't even there. He was nowhere near the
Yeah,
place.
it's primarily about like CIA funded like experiments on people tripping acid and get it
Whoa.
like mind control and all that sort of thing. Because
And they were in their own little commune, weren't they? So they'd be easy targets for an experiment, etc.
Well,
I saw that.
Yeah, well, and apparently also like Charles Manson had a lot of very a lot of stints with being arrested where he got out very easily, where he should have been locked up for a long time. So it's like they just kept letting him go.
Right.
And I don't know. I haven't gotten that far into it because I just got it, but it's like that's I like reading autobiographies and biographies and history. Like
You know me.
like ask me a
more-
question about Rome.
I'm more of an audio book guy. But even with that, and it's weird, Steve, like getting back to like the topic, even like my hobbies tend to be outside of like gaming, my hobbies tend to be music based. You know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy it's weird, bro, but like I enjoy making like sound patches on like synthesizers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I enjoy like soldering like mic cables. You know what I'm saying? Like weird, like nerdy, geeky stuff like that.
So you were giving us
you're
shit a
calling
minute
us
ago, mate.
nerds.
What's wrong with you?
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
You
I know.
hypocrite.
I know. I'm a hypocrite. I know. But like, I really like. I get a kick out of that stuff, man. It's like, you know, everything that I do always comes back to music. But at the end of the day, I still consider certain things a hobby, you know, compared to like me playing sax and getting paid for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like even like making beats and stuff like that. Like right now, that's just a hobby of mine. Cause like I'm not always getting back. I've sold like a few beats like in my time of making beats and producing and stuff like that. But I just enjoy doing it, you know? And then like I feel like there will be a time like if I was to do production full time, I would get sick and tired of it, bro. Like dealing with artists, dealing with you know, just time, you know what I'm saying? Like making sure you have things like deadlines and things like that. Bro, I would just be like, man, bump this, bro. I'm about to go work at like Taco Bell or something and just eat tacos all day. You guys know I love my tacos.
I'm gonna say, but then you get sick of
I think you
tacos.
get
That's another hobby
fired.
gone, man.
And you're
Right?
fine because you eat all the tacos.
Exactly, right? I'll eat all the free tacos, all the chalupas. Whew. Jesus Christ.
But like,
I was
I was
I was
gonna
rewatching
say,
that the other day, and he's like, "You can get chicken, you can get beef,
Yeah.
you can get steak, you can get chicken,
Chicken
and steak."
and
Yeah. And then he's like, "You can get beef and steak," and I was like, "Isn't steak beef?"
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what? How, I was
I
like,
think
"Of course
it's
you can get beef
like a
and
minced
steak."
beef, is it or something? I don't know.
Well,
I've
no,
never been there.
like beef is like
fucking
like the steak
Americans.
is like just like cutlets of steak, and then like the beef is like minced and chopped up like ground beef, you know?
like ground beef, like minced. All right,
yeah.
Why am I planning on moving to America?
mate. I
I
wouldn't do,
I won't
do that for the
survive.
minute.
won't-
I'd just
I
give
won't
it a
survive.
minute. There was a saying that keeps popping up when we're talking about if your passion becomes a job, which is people say, I can't remember the exact saying, but it's similar to once you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. That type of thing. And I
Please.
think it's the funniest thing is like saying, the second you do what you love, it comes so easily to you. I think you actually put in more work because you're more passionate about it. You don't just do 9 to 5. None of us just do 9 to 5 and stop. I mean, as we were talking before, sometimes you do because it's, you know, the gig is the gig, but you generally care more about it. And you've put in hours and hours of practice. Like nobody sits at home and practices on a piece of paper for other jobs or whatever, generally speaking. But when it's a passion of yours, you put in the extra time. I think you actually work more.
I mean, I agree with that because to be honest, it's like, you know, I know me, like I'm always chasing that almighty dollar, you know what I'm saying? So it gets to a point where like, you know, it starts off as a passion, starts off as like, oh man, like I'm doing this gig because this is something that I love to do. But then it gets to the point where I'm like, dang, bro, like I'm 2 days late on like my cell phone bill. I need like a couple hundred real quick to put in my pocket. Let me go ahead and do this gig. You know what I'm saying? And all you're thinking about is the money. You know what I'm saying? But like it makes me think about when I'm on a ship and it's like everything is like salary based, you know? It's like, you know, like I can do X amount of shows and I'm still gonna get paid, you know what I'm saying, regardless. So that's why I would always come to your bar. You know, I will always be in the pub, like trying to jam with you. Me and Nate, bro, like you don't understand. Like me and Nate would literally finish our shows at like 9:30. Go shower, get fresh. In like 30 minutes, like we will run back to our rooms, which is on the other side of the ship. Go get fresh, go shower real quick, and then be at yours by like 10:30.
Yeah.
And like we'll text you and be like, "Yo, have our drinks ready." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if I
And
knew
then,
you guys
like-
were coming, if Grant was coming, I'd be like, "What do you guys want?" Oh, well, when we did have the free internet, that was a lot easier on the ship.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm like, "What do you guys want?" Oh, just I'd get things. Mm-hmm. Like there are things. Generally, Corona. I don't know why, which ties in with everything that's
You
happening
know.
in the world.
yeah, right. But
I
like,
think every
like
time I've had a
literally,
beer right
like
now, I'm on Corona.
Yeah.
like literally, like we would finish, like we would just finish like doing a whole show. Then it got to the point where like sometimes we'd be like, "Oh, I'm kind of tired. Let's just go to the crew bar or let's like relax." But sometimes, man, like we had those moments where we're like, "Yo, even if we got shows, we still want to show up." You know what I'm saying? And still just like jam, just to get our rocks off. You know what I'm saying? Like just to get like something different. You know.
Definitely.
And it's always been amazing, man. You know.
Yeah, I always had a schedule.
Yeah.
Well, if
Grant's
you got-
always like, "Oh, well, let's do it like every like second day of the cruise and every like second to last day of the cruise." And I'm like,
That is
"No,
exactly what I said.
bro." Right. And I'm like, "No, bro."
Verbatim.
Like,
But it works. It works way better when Grant does that for me and Grant because two guitarists doing the songs, blah, blah, it becomes like a duo. Whereas you guys
Man.
can come in, sit in, play a solo. You can sit there and just chill for a bit, have a couple of beers, and
you
it's-
know,
Yeah,
you
and there's
know
also
me,
the,
bro. Go ahead, Grant.
I was gonna say also, yeah, it's like to follow Steve. It's the last thing that I want is to step on toes or impede on
Right.
Steve's job.
I do feel
So it seemed I came up with this formula where if I come on the second day, it's generally like for me it tends to be the like say the first thing that I've done, or maybe just after I've done a welcome aboard show where I haven't worked very much anyway. So it's a good way to plug the stuff that I'm going to be doing throughout the cruise. Steven's already had a night on his own, generally speaking. I mean, it's pretty rare that you'd have day one off, but well, pretty much never, right? Unless you're sick. And then in doing it on the second day, and then not going in again until the second last day, I'm off doing my own things anyway. But then they know that I'm going to be in. So if Steve gets asked about it, then he can say, "Oh yeah, he'll come in on this day."
Yeah, and that's cool too. Like they used to work out.
It's yeah.
Yeah, because
That's the way that I thought about it.
Yeah,
It
like
makes it-
me
it
and
makes it
Nate
like an
kind of
event.
did the same thing too, and it was actually a good method because for the people who are already cruising with us, and they kind of like let's say like you said, like that second day, they're like, "Oh man, this is amazing, bro! It's like four people up here," and then they're like the next day, it's like, "Hey Steve, like what happened to your boys? Like what happened to your bros?" And it's like, "Oh, well, yeah, like they have other jobs. Like they have like their real job, you know what I'm saying? But they will be back at this time and that time. You know me, like I would just pop up, just because, man. And, really for like, free drinks and snacks and all types of stuff, But,
tiny little bottles of wine.
Yeah, man, But
See, when I do it, it's purely altruistic.
yeah, bump all that.
Of course it is, yeah.
No one cares. But no, like I would also do it too, man, just to have something different, bro. Just to have like a different feel, man. And and like that's like, yeah, that's just that love, And then like and you network too.
Yeah.
I met a lot of cool people, man. Met a lot of cool people in that pub.
You meet the best people
I
in the
did.
bar.
I did not. I don't think I ever met anybody.
You tend
Grant
to
was
turn up
always
and leave.
running from people, though.
Yeah.
He was always
I
running
know.
away. Yeah.
Well, I'm just doing a job.
See,
exactly.
My job,
I'm
partly my
always-
job is to be friendly. You generally don't have to be friendly because you're not generally around the public. That's good and bad for me because I love talking to people. But there are some times when I just want to leave, and I'm there an hour later. I'm like, I find it so hard to get away sometimes.
Yeah,
Unless
if
someone's
you see
bad.
me-
If someone's rude, then I'll be rude to them. But if they're not, then I'll be polite for as long as I have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
if you see me being nice or polite to people, then you know that I'm on the clock.
Yeah,
Straight
You know?
up.
It's
That's a fact, people.
that
I've
is.
got
That is.
I have very rarely do I have a little time for people. But if you're paying me, then
Yeah.
That's
I will be
another
I'm the most friendly, patient guy in the world if you're paying me. But yeah,
Well,
I
well,
mean,
have you guys
I've
got
never,
any? I was going to say, let's tie it back into the topic and let's close up. We are definitely out of time, so let's try and close it up. Just wondering if you guys have like a point, like something you would say to somebody, to keep it fresh, keep the passion alive in a job. If people are musicians, or if they're any of the job where it has become a job and they're feeling a bit like, like this was my hobby. I used to love this. Now I'm sick of it. Why don't I enjoy doing this? I don't even look at the guitar, or I don't even pick up the pencil, or whatever it is. Have you got like a tip that you would say? Like, what is the thing you say? Grant, you go first.
yeah, I would say if you're really passionate about something, don't do it for a job.
Well,
But I mean, a really good thing to listen to and to check out is I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. If anybody knows the band Slipknot, there's a really cool clip of their singer, what's his name? Corey Taylor. He goes to it might even be like Oxford. He goes to a university and he gives this lecture. And it's about doing what you're intrinsically good at versus doing what you're passionate about for a living, like following that financially.
Yeah.
And he talks about how he always wanted to be a history teacher and he just fell into music.
Wow.
Like, but he never really excelled at history, even though he was very, very passionate about it.
Right.
I guess it would be the equivalent of me saying, like me at 5'8", saying that I wanted to be an NBA player. Like I really love basketball. I just want to play basketball.
basketball is my favorite
It's like,
sport.
I was waiting.
yeah,
for that.
I like the way they dribble up and down the court.
The way you said it though, I just like the way they dribble up and down the court.
My favorite move is the alley oop. But I mean, I'm kind of like that as well. I mean, I didn't want to play music. I just
We
kind
all
of
know.
I just kind of started getting
Every
paid
day.
to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So but if like I said before, I'm very much into reading biographies and like history books and stuff. I'm much more into that than I am into music.
I mean,
Is that because
Jesus
you're doing
Christ.
music, you think?
I don't think so. I think I mean you know it's very easy to throw the two together as well. Like there's a lot of very interesting characters that have throughout history that have been musicians. So it's not very hard to bleed the two into each other.
Yeah.
But no, I mean I was very much gonna go to university and do something like some sort of like English or literature degree. But then before I finished high school, I was already making more money than my teachers playing music. So I went, oh, look, this works. And now it's, what am I, 31 now? So it's 13 years later almost and 12 years later or whatever. And still, well, not right now, I guess, but, still playing music for a living. But, a lot of musicians get mad at me. I remember Dylan, we'll bring it back to Dylan. Oh, Dylan got bewildered by me one night because I was like, yeah, I don't care about it very much.
And if I'm not mistaken, I remember being there that night. That might have been the same night because like I remember trying to tell Dylan like, yo, bro, you're wasting your breath because like Grant is not passionate about like none of this stuff, bro. Like he's just doing it like because he can. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I put a lot of work in because
Right.
there's a professional obligation.
Yeah.
But see, I've never ever gotten sick of playing a certain thing. I mean, to an extent, I guess. But I never really have a problem playing any sort of song or playing any type of music or doing anything because I'm just like, yeah, it's a pretty cool job. So, yeah, these are things that I've never had to really worry about.
Right.
But yeah, I would say, as a a little soundbite, I would say don't worry about whether or not you're say passionate about doing something that you're getting paid for. I would say focus more on your professional obligation to do your job. And what the Corey Taylor thing, what he was saying is because he went with what was giving him results through virtue of getting such good results from this new endeavor, which, in his case is music as well. He eventually develops a passion for it because he's constantly seeing positive results and getting a lot from all the time that he is actually putting into that, rather than struggling through something that he really wants to be good at, but just isn't, things just aren't clicking for him. That seems to be something that I think is very much worth thinking about.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Johnny? Any pearls of wisdom?
Bro, just give up. You know what I'm saying? just give up, son. You're not worthy. You feel me?
If you're not born great, just give up.
I'm like Thor out here, man. Like, look, man, you can't wield the hammer if you're not worthy, baby. Just straight up.
Johnny's a musical fascist.
But nah, man, like real talk. All I can say, man, is just remember what you're doing it for. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, man, and I'm not gonna I'm gonna try not to prolong it, but the reason why I still play sax is because I remember when I first started playing sax, and I remember it vividly. And I remember when I started taking it serious. My folks, they were renting. You know how when you're a kid, your family they rent an instrument and you just kind of practice on that instrument. You play that instrument, you learn it. A couple of my music teachers told my family, they was like, "Look, man, he's actually getting pretty good. So you guys might want to look into just buying it and just instead of renting it and wasting your money and stuff." So both of my parents, man, they set me down and they were just like, "Yo, we can buy this saxophone. We can just pay it off." You know what I'm saying? And just and you can have it. But we're not about to waste our money. You know what I'm saying? So if we buy this thing, you have to play it.
Yeah.
So is this something that you want to do? And man, I just sat there and I paused. I remember it like it was yesterday, bro. I was 12 and I was like, Jesus Christ. I don't want to like this.
Pressure.
I do enjoy doing it. Say what?
That says pressure, man. Pressure, 12 years
bro,
old.
so much pressure, bro. Because I was I like playing the sax, and I like music, period. But I'm is this something that I want to be stuck doing, for a very long time? Because I don't want to disappoint my parents. You know what I'm saying? I love my parents; they've always been there, and I said yes. I was all right, yeah, this is something that I want to do. So that was the first saxophone. The same thing came around when one of my teachers said, okay, he's outgrown this sax and he needs something a little bit more professional. They went out, we had another talk. Nice. Okay, we're going to buy you the saxophone, but are you sure this is, and boom. Then I started gigging. And they dipped into my parents dipped into their life savings to buy me equipment, buy me speakers and an amplifier and a not a turntable, but a dual CD player so that I can mix on stage and mix in between songs and just keep the music flowing. And I started gigging, So I literally do this for my family. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
That's like one of the like driving forces for me to like keep going. So I say that to say, like, you know, anybody out there, man, just like remember where you came from, remember how you got started. And if you had like a similar story like mine where you feel like, man, I can't give this up because I'm too deep in, you know, then keep going. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be like the same story where it's like, oh yeah, my parents spent all this money and I had to do it for them. It can just be like, yo, I've just made it this far and I've been doing it so long. Why quit now? Why give up now? You know what I'm saying? Like it's grown beyond a hobby and it's become something that I love to do. You know what I'm saying? And you
good
get
to
a
have
little bit of
pressure.
cash on the side.
Yeah.
Say what?
Pressure's good.
Pressure is good. It's
Pressure
nice, especially for somebody like me, because I'm very lazy. So you know,
No, never.
oh, I'm very lazy.
But yeah, just remember, pressure is what molds the lump
Yeah,
of
like-
coal into a diamond.
For real.
Yeah, I think without the pressure, none of us, because it's not a normal job. It's not like, hey, I'm going to be a lawyer and buy a house and
Right.
have blah. It's like, hey, I'm going to be a guitar player and be worried all my life that I can pay my bills. That's
Buy
a
a
great
mansion.
Exactly. I'm going to struggle, but it's for the passion, baby.
That's it. I think that's what it is. So yeah, we'll tie it up, man. I think a couple of things, like I was saying, you know, if you are finding yourself in a bit of a rut with it, I think making sure you've got a hobby, do something outside of it, even if it's still musical, but away from exactly what you're doing, or even if it's still tied loosely to what you're doing, take a step out, take a break if you can. Like take a break, have a weekend away.
Yeah.
From whatever it is you do. For me, that's my guitar. I go somewhere which ties as a hobby because I would take my camera. I'd just take my camera and don't think about music for a while.
Yeah.
And I think you have to do that because the goalposts always change. When you first start, you might be thinking, I'm going to be a star. I'm going to be like working with this person. I'm going to do this. And then realism kicks in at some point. And you're like, actually, that's probably not going to happen. So I'll try and do that. And then you get to that point and you do that for a while and you think, oh, I've got to be able to go up. There's got to be a bigger gig. There's got to be something bigger. But there doesn't, in like a passion project that becomes work, there doesn't have to be something bigger. It's not a corporate ladder where there's always that one step up. Sometimes there isn't. Sometimes you get to a certain point, you're like, this is it. Am I happy being here, doing what I'm doing? And I think if you're not, then take the break first of all before you do anything. But I think what it is it's always going to have such a personal, emotional attachment if it's something that was such a passion for you initially that will come back. And if you do have kids and stuff, you're paying them. You're paying for their tuition. You're putting food in their belly with your passion. Who can say that? How many people can say that?
Right. Very few, man.
Yeah, man.
Not me.
Very few.
No, that's it.
Not me.
Well, none of us know if we've got kids, so yeah, if you're out there, hi. Hey, all virgins, all of us. Yeah, and don't be worried too much if it's going to stop, because that's a worry that I have all the time. And at this moment in time, it has. Musicians, it has stopped.
Yeah.
But there's always that worry, like one day it's going to stop. One day I'm going to, lose my voice, hurt my hand, do that, whatever it is.
Right.
But you've got to just, I'm somebody who overthinks everything, as everyone who knows me knows. But
no, like-
I'm also
like
fairly realistic, which is a horrible little thing in my head.
But no, like you, I feel like you have to be prepared as a musician, because like you said, like okay, I play sax. What if something happens to my hands? Then I'm like, all right, I got to find like another plan, because at the end of the day, like this is something that I love to do. I love to be passionate. I'm passionate about this particular thing. So I always said to myself, like, all right, if something happens to my hands where I can't play sax or I can't play keys, I still have my voice. You know what I'm saying? And like I sing, I rap, and I do all of this. If I can't sing anymore, I try to rap. If I can't rap, then I'll just write and ghost
You can do
write.
mumble
for,
rap, man.
like just like all the other mumble rappers, and just like put a beat on and then boom, I'm straight.
Make sure you
famous.
write verses that are in triplets, but you make them sound like duplets.
And now we're back to Nate.
I don't know what you're saying. I don't understand you. I can't understand what you're saying.
Quantize. Auto-dynamics.
Quantas cerveza.
But yeah, man. So it's like I always like, I'm one of those guys where like I plan things out, because I'm just like, man, this is something that I want to do for the rest of my life. But if all fails or if something happens, because like we're all human. So if something happens and I can't do it anymore, I have to find like a plan B, plan C, plan D, whatever, But the music is still going to go on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So, it's all about, planning things out. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, plan, but don't be scared. Don't
Exactly.
let it take away from what you're doing. Anyway, guys, I'll call it on this. Cheers for hanging out with us today. We went off topic as per usual, but that's what it's all about.
Somewhat
if you're
of
with us,
It's a vague. It's somewhat of a vague topic as well.
Exactly, so,
It's,
It felt good.
Tangents are good.
that's it.
Yep,
If you're
I
with
had
us,
fun.
we're not here to do a TED talk. That might happen at some point, but it's about us all having a conversation, and that's very important in the world to have
Yes, sir.
conversations, because sometimes you can't do anything more than have conversations and maybe spread a bit of information and joy in the world. So if you disagree with that, then get off my Facebook page. Anyway,
Yeah.
You
Straight
did it.
he tied it back
You
in.
did it. You went
Straight
there.
up, son.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you very, very much. Thank you to Johnny. Thank you to Grant. And we'll be back. Don't forget Vinyl Impressions and all the other stuff we got going on, and subscribe and like and
Ratings too.
Yeah.
Ratings are very helpful.
and ratings. Yeah. See, I didn't even know about ratings, but there you go for it. Yeah.
Ratings and reviews.
Ratings, reviews,
Please.
absolutely everything. If you're really, really hot, Johnny says send nudes. I don't know what that was about, but if you guys want to get involved in any of that stuff, you get involved, and I will see you later, and the guys will see you on Tinder. Have a good evening. Bye bye.
That's cold, man.